Welcome to Hoovie's Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube, but I'm not in Hoovie's Garage. I'm back at the Mercedes-Benz Classic Center in Long Beach with my ultimate dream car behind me. About a month ago, I bought this 55 300 SL Gullwing that had been sitting for a decade, and by some miracle, we got this car running and driving in a few hours. But it was kind of a false win because Nate, the workshop manager, really dove into this thing and found a lot more issues. And to make things even harder, I set the stakes of getting this car ready in time for the 300 SL Rally, a 1,000-mile trip with fellow 300 SL owners, which happens in just a few days. And as you can see, the car is completely torn apart, so I have no idea how this is gonna happen, but Nate says it's gonna happen, so let's get to it. Well, here's the man making it all possible, Nate and Otto, I guess, an honorable mention, right?
Welcome back.
I know you're living here since this car's to be together in like less than a week.
Otto and I have spent some hours on this car along with the rest of the guys.
Is this your nap zone?
Yeah, he usually finds a place to hang out.
So what's going on?
I'm trying to figure out how to get an 8-track in here, but no.
It's a thing. So is this going to be ready?
It'll be ready. It'll be ready. We'll show you around, show you what we're working on as Otto investigates. We're going to make it right. We're going to make it safe. That was one of the big objectives. Make it safe, make it reliable, make sure we can finish a 1,000-mile rally. We did do a compression test, and it's actually really, really good. Yes. So that was kind of up for grabs, whether we were going to have good compression or not. This is actually an old testing machine that we still use. They still make these little cards, and it goes in a little gun, and you put the, you check the compression, and it actually registers on a little scale.
You don't like computers very much,
No, I love stuff like this. And the fact that they still make this is amazing. So basically we've got 9 bar, up to about 9.5 bar of compression. The minimum's 8.5. We do have 8.5 in one cylinder and like 9.2, so the spread's okay. And that cylinder, you know, it may come around. The other thing too is, it's not been driven a lot.
Right.
Rings are going to move around. We'll maybe see a little boost in the compression. Hopefully not a reduction. Hopefully an increase would be nice.
Well, you've laid out a whole buffet table. This would be a feast if
the smorgasbord of car parts.
Okay, Albert's put my axles back together, so that's good. But all these bits are kind of...
Yeah, so those are all internal brake components related to the rear axle and front axle.
Okay.
He's putting together the axle shafts with new bearings.
Yeah.
And so these were the old ones, and they've got a little bit of bad spots in them.
Yeah.
And they're old. These are the original ones, actually, the wheel bearings.
From 55?
Yeah, these are from 1955. So new wheel bearings, new wheel bearing seals.
Which, these aren't the end of the world. What?
These are like $8.50 a piece. This is one of the cheaper things on your list.
I wish these were $8.50 because this was the big bit of bad news right here, my brake drums.
So brake drums, you know, technology that most people don't normally deal with, obviously disc brakes. These are not carbon ceramic drum brakes by...
They're priced like them, though.
Yeah, they're priced like them. So these are aluminum with a cast iron liner, and they're actually very intricately made. They're difficult to make, and the price shows for that. So for these 4 brake drums, it's about $14,000.
And I have to buy them because these have been turned one too many times over 100,000 miles in 70 years.
They're too big.
They're too thin. So if they're too big, then
yeah.
it gets
so
hot?
the wall thickness, the wall thickness of the liner is so thin now that they could potentially overheat, and you could potentially lose one of your brakes, which you don't want to find out in the middle of a corner or going down a very steep grade, that type of thing.
So that was the big gotcha.
That's the big expensive
Unfortunately.
item. Yeah. Everything else is pretty reasonable
pretty close
for everything
to
else.
What we thought.
Yeah, so we got the shocks we looked at when it was here. They were completely blown out.
Yep.
The mounts were just disintegrating, and they look the part. So they're not great as well. Now, these are the rear axle boots.
Yeah.
So those of you with Volkswagens, these probably look very familiar.
The Madonnas, yes.
Similar to that. You could probably make a Lady Gaga or Madonna outfit out of those, or maybe Katy Perry as well.
I could put them up for sale to help
highest
price
bidder.
of these costs.
Wheel cylinders, you can see
toast.
Yeah, actually, I'll show you. I think I left this one to where you can see. If I open this,
Oh.
There's not supposed to be fluid on the outside, which
Right.
is what we have here. The other thing is the differential the mounting was pretty bad.
Every time he moves on to another part, it's cha-ching, cha-ching,
You should have a little cash register sound in the background for this.
So remember the diff mounts, they had new old stock.
Yeah, those aren't so good.
Old stock. This is original, and it was disintegrated. So
So why we had the axles apart to do the boots, we did these bushings. Again, it's the while we're in there part of it. So we also have some oil cooler hoses that we replaced just from age. This is what's left of your fuel sending unit.
Look at that cork.
Yeah.
Is this original?
It's original cork. So that's been there for 60 years. By the way, your car's coming up on its birthday. October 29th is your car's birthday. It'll be 60 years old.
Wow.
Coming up. So 60 or 70? 70.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't add.
I mean, it still kind of works.
It kind of works. The problem is that up here is actually, you know those old like slot cars?
Oh,
and when you pull the throttle, it moves a little, it's like a little resistor in there. That's what's giving resistance for the gauge, but it doesn't work anymore. The wire inside of it's fried.
This cork is
not so good.
Apart
the new ones are made out of plastic, so we've got to work on that. This is also part of your gas tank. That's actually where your fuel is being sucked up through.
That's some
and
rust.
It's rusty.
Barnacles.
Someone has tried to repair it. It should have a screen on the end of it. So we have a new one of those to put in. So we have grommets, we've got gaskets, we've got kind of all that stuff. This is your steering shock. So this actually helps to reduce the amount of vibration when you have in the steering system. The one that's over there that we took out is completely blown. It has no pressure left in it. So we've got a new steering shock, new wheel bearings. We looked at the old ones over there. We'll get those installed into the hubs. These are the original hubs. We've sandblasted these, painted these where they need to be painted. This anti-friction bearing, I don't know why it's so good, but it's green like Slimer. So it's good stuff. I don't know what it is about the Mercedes-Benz in particular, this type of grease, but it really, really works great. It's a high temperature bearing grease that's been used for decades. So we'll get that back in there. It really didn't have the right grease in it. You can wipe that right there.
It seems like
you got slime.
A booger or something. I just picked my nose.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it'll be nice to have that on there. So these are for the sway bar and the sway bar bushings.
You didn't realize
as well.
that this Gullwing owner is like 8 years old mentally.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's that kid in the pedal car.
I know,
right?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's our lovely new brake drums.
Okay.
So you can see that all much better. So they don't give you much material to remove, actually. You only get about 1.5 millimeters of material that you can reduce this by.
Well, and they don't look easy to make. I can see why.
No, I've had people say, oh, that's not so hard to make, but it's actually, these are cast. And there's two castings. You have the metal part, the steel part, the liner, and then you have the outside, which is aluminum, and they're actually, one is cast inside the other, and then there's all the machine work that's involved. So these are quite complicated to do.
Yeah.
And there's no real way to do a good disc brake conversion on something like this. And again, these brakes were more than adequate at the time.
I did not care at the Millimia. I thought, okay.
They were fine, right?
Totally fine
Didn't
when I
even
did that
notice.
a couple of years ago.
The reason being is because these shoes are massive, the shoes. So
are these mine?
These are your wheels. They're not black and polished anymore.
I'm
They're
not murdered out.
sandblasted. You're not murdered out quite yet.
Not painted yet.
But not painted yet. These will get painted in the next couple days.
Oh, I just greased it.
It's okay. We got to prep them anyway. So we do have some bad news about one of your wheels.
Yeah?
So this is your spare. Well, let me replace that. This was actually on your car and should have been used as the spare.
It looks wonky.
It's kind of wonky. So we put this in the wheel balancer just to see how true it is, and we measured it.
Okay.
And it's off the scales bad. So not only is it bent, it's actually cracked. And someone tried to fix it, and they actually cracked the rim right here.
Oh.
So the metal is not in great shape.
So is this fixable?
This is possibly fixable. Still got grease on you. It's possibly fixable. We're working on getting you a replacement that is date coded from another car.
But they're not brake drum expensive.
They're not brake drum expensive.
Okay.
They're relatively
I didn't know about this before.
cheaper than that.
Okay. What's the range?
From about $1,000 to about $2,500 to replace this one. Now we have, if you really want it, we got an NOS original still in the box from 1955 that somebody ordered and never used. but that's on the bigger end of the spectrum. So we'll probably go with a good used one. Will be fine.
Sounds good. That sounds expensive.
We'll get that figured out. We do have tires, so
hey.
Tires are always good to have. Some good rubber. Now the tires that were on there were actually not that old. That wasn't really the issue. The issue was the tire size was wrong.
It's weird because it had newer tires, even though it sat for like 10 years. I felt like somebody wanted to get it out and drive it, but then
they put new tires on it.
But they just the balloon. They were way too big.
Yeah, probably cheaper than your Bugatti tires, I would imagine.
A bit cheaper, yeah. Yes. Yeah, $60,000 versus a couple of grand for these.
Couple grand for these, yeah.
Still a lot, but I'm in a much better place. So yeah, I was facing, a multiple six-figure service on the Bugatti.
Yeah.
So I'm not there, but
we're getting there.
I'm
slowly but surely. This is probably one of the main things that we talked about and we looked at. If you remember, it had some disgusting fuel in it.
So this does not look like it's going to be ready for Friday.
No. So luckily, we actually had another one that was replaced out of another car that was in really good shape. It just needed a new liner put into it. So there's a company that we use that actually they put a liner on the inside. It's coated and it's baked in an oven.
So they split it apart?
No, actually they put rods inside of it and they blast it from the inside.
Oh.
Then they cover it and then they put the liner in. They kind of roll it around and then cure it in the oven. And then we are painting it right now. So we're actually going to see that in a little bit.
I'm seeing original
stuff. That's the original felt. So a lot of times on these cars, if you don't put these back in, the car will squeak, it'll rattle, it'll make all kinds of noise. So these are actually there for a particular reason. Huge gas tank. This is where you can see actually how big this. So this is 34 gallons of fuel.
That's impressive. Wow.
If you do the math, which I'm not great at, it's quite a bit of weight.
About 20 miles per gallon highway, so your range is
18 to 25 depending. And range, you can easily do a full 300, 400 miles on this tank.
So where is the new tank?
We'll take a look. It's in the paint booth.
Nice. So this works out as kind of a core exchange, right?
Yeah, so effectively we've got the new tank, or the used tank, but relined tank from the other car that he's just painted, put final color on. And so this finish will last a long, long time. The liner itself will last forever.
Nice.
Never really have to be done again. And also it's easy to clean out, so if it gets contaminated or a little bit of dirt in it, it's easy to clean out.
So how much is it to redo a tank like this?
Actually, it's not too bad. All told, I think with the liner, subcontract work, and then the paint work, it's probably around $1,500.
Yeah, so that's what I thought.
Fairly
One of the more reasonable things.
New tanks are available. We went back into production on those.
Do I even want to know?
10.5. But you got to think about how much tooling costs and going into. So I know a lot of the comments on the previous video were like, "Oh, it's so expensive for this part or that part." But these are sort of boutique, low production number items. They only built 1,400 Gullwings,
right? So
you're not building an awful lot of these parts in one shot.
Well, you need it if it was expensive. If it was too far gone and rusty, or if the car's been hit and the thing's kind of
yeah. We actually had that on another car. The car that is going to be going with you on the rally. It had been in an accident, and the top of the gas tank had been crushed in. And it was too far gone to save. We've also had them where the whole bottom of the tank was rusted, completely gone after we had it cleaned. So that's a case where there's really no solution other than to replace the tank. But you'll be good to go for a long time with this one.
Well, shall we get back to the car?
Let's take a look.
All right. For almost 10 years now, I have been a YouTuber doing this thing that I love and never thought it would be a career. But a few years ago, someone told me I was wasting my YouTube potential, that I needed to go bigger, more content, double down on expensive supercar projects, get employees, basically throw money at everything and scale up fast. So I did. I spent money that I probably shouldn't have, took on projects that felt more like obligations than passion, put my face everywhere because of personal branding, and for the first time in a decade, I felt truly burnt out. Pretty close. That hollow feeling when work stops being work you choose and becomes work that owns you. I hate to admit this, but sometimes the content showed it too. When you're running on fumes, authenticity becomes this thing you have to manufacture instead of something that just flows. Sometimes you don't even realize when you're actually happy. You think you need more, and that where you're at just isn't enough. So you chase the bigger thing, the next milestone, the next shiny goal, only to look back and realize you already had it so good. You couldn't just see it at the time. So therapy helped me see that the problem wasn't just burnout, it was how I was chasing success. With BetterHelp, I finally had the tools to slow down, reflect, and build a life that actually feels good. BetterHelp is the sponsor of this video, and they make starting therapy easier. A therapist will listen, ask questions, and help you see things from new perspectives. They can give you advice and techniques to make positive changes in your life. Fill out a questionnaire and match with a therapist in just days. And if it's not the right fit, you can easily switch therapists at any time at no extra cost. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. So click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/HooviesGarage and get 10% off your first month of therapy. Saw the interior's out. It's all up here.
Yep. Seats, trunk mat, carpets, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So we talked about your spare tire being a problem.
Yeah.
This isn't your spare. This
is your
tubes.
the tube. Okay.
Yeah.
Very
so that's
nice.
what's inside those tires.
Is this?
You're ready to go rafting.
I can use this as sort of a bumper if I faint when I get the bill, I suppose, right?
Yeah. In here, we did have a large hole in your trunk, if you remember.
I wanted a big 6x9 subwoofer, so, some bumping.
The problem with that is, these old gas tanks leak a little bit of fumes out of the cap.
Okay.
And so we were concerned that you would be dead if we didn't patch the hole in the car.
I see.
So the fumes can be pretty extensive. So we've got the hole patch. You can look at it from the inside, actually. It's easier to see it. So it looks like somebody put like a 5x7 or some sort of speaker back there. So we made a patch. We patched that in. It's not perfect, but at least it'll keep the really big stuff out.
And I have a window here to my battery.
Yeah. So the battery we talked about earlier is not so good. The other thing that was missing was there's a cap that goes over that giant hole right there. It was missing. We made a reproduction of that out of aluminum. It's a really simple piece. And then the battery cover itself is also missing. So we don't know where those parts ever went off to. They're probably in somebody's garage somewhere. But luckily we were able to make ones from scratch. Relatively easy to make and get it covered back up. So it'll be nice and fresh air in here, no gas
couple
fumes.
California license plates, just
hammer them out. Yeah. No, we got to do them out of aluminum. They're aluminum originally.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, in here, we don't have to spend too much time, luckily. We mainly have to take the seats out to get the hole in the back fixed.
But my fuel gauge isn't going to work, huh?
Well, we're going to see if we can come up with a solution for that. I have a brand new fuel sending unit.
Okay.
But it's going to hurt the wallet, unfortunately. So, but let me see. I may have an alternative to that one. Perhaps a good used one that we might have pulled out of a car that we could possibly use.
All right.
So engine-wise, we talked about the compression test, which was good. We did a valve adjustment as well.
Oh, I see that it's off. So
it's off. Yeah. Right. So you can actually see inside the engine here. What's kind of cool is they date coded a lot of the components in here, so we know how old they are. So the cylinder head lines up with your production date, so we know that this cylinder head belonged to this engine block.
Nice.
There's some casting numbers as well. There's a number on the camshaft, tells us a lot of information. So we generally know kind of the health of the engine.
Okay.
It does have a little bit of sort of black, burnt oil, sludgy stuff going on. Yeah. It's not excessive. It's going to sort of clean this out as we continue to drive a little bit. Most of the oils that we use now have a pretty good detergent in there to help try to clean off some of these carbon deposits.
So you were kind of hopeful when we first looked at it that the engine's been gone through rebuilt at least once.
Possibly. It's a little bit unclear. There has been work done to the engine. They've done a lot of cosmetics on the outside.
Yeah.
So it looks really nice. Inside, we're pretty good. It's all the original parts, which is definitely a plus from a value perspective. With these cars, numbers matching is everything. The engine's numbers matching, the cylinder head, down to the wheels are date coded correct.
I got all this totally by accident. I just wanted a
lucky
Gullwing that I could afford, and I happened to get
a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see there's something missing on this engine, though. My injection pump's gone.
Yeah, so we took the injection pump out. We have it in our test stand.
Okay.
And we're running it right now to see what its condition is.
Right.
So we can take a look at that, but if you want to go underneath and look as well without the injection pump, we can take a look at that.
Yeah. So is that where my drip is, where an injection pump should be getting oiled?
We have it disconnected from the oil supply right now, so that's why it's dripping a little bit. But little do you know that 300 SLs actually have 2 drive shafts.
Wow. So this is the little one that spins that powers the injection pump.
Yeah. So it runs off a little jack shaft on the side of the engine.
Okay.
So, so we have that out right now and the mounting bracket for it.
So one thing we're not doing in this one, we're doing the shocks, but as far as all these old bushings here that have been painted over,
Time is our enemy right now.
And kingpins have a bit of play.
Right.
So
we're okay for now. They definitely need to be addressed in the future. But this is an item we can put off for a little bit. Obviously, brakes are the most important thing.
Yeah.
More so even than the engine. So we'll kind of go back to some of those things a little bit later. The sway bar end links here, they're really bad.
Yeah.
So those are just as hard as a rock. So we'll do those. They're easy to get to, and that's not an issue to get to it. But other things that we've considered too to look at to make sure we're good is like the drive shaft U-joints, the radiator, the cooling system. All of those systems look really good.
So the two big issues when we first saw this car were the brakes, which it's about as bad as they can get for the brakes.
Yep.
The injection pump, we're hoping for better news, right?
Yep. It's looking good.
Okay.
So let's go take a look in the shop, in the test lab, and see what we got.
All right. Oh, it's loud. We might be dubbing ourselves here, the voiceover booth, right?
Subtitles?
Yeah, exactly. So, once again, you don't like computers.
No, I like analog things.
Yeah.
This is Chris. Chris is our sort of injection pump guy here at the Classic Center. So this is your injection pump here from the 300SL. And we're running some tests to determine what our outputs are and what kind of overall condition we're seeing in for the injection pump.
So that's spinning like a little drive shaft in the engine, right?
Yeah, correct. So this has a hydrostatic drive transmission in it, and it keeps a constant speed. So the digital readout at the top of the unit is how fast the injection pump is turning. So we have a test sheet, and that test sheet tells us exactly how much fuel should be delivered at what output point.
This is quite the dinosaur here.
Yes.
It's awesome.
It takes me back to my high school chemistry class when we measure the bottom of the meniscus thing. Well, we have to do the same thing here. So this is going to run 1,000 strokes. So it's going to turn 1,000 times, which is measured up here at the top. And then it'll dump out exactly a measured amount of calibration fluid.
So we weren't too worried about the way it runs as far as the operation of it, but the contamination of the fuel and the oil was the issue, which can this thing test that?
So what we can do is something that we don't normally can do on the car for a road test. We can actually simulate driving for 8 hours straight. So this can run at a very constant speed, and we can get it up to temperature and see how much fuel dilution we get in the injection pump itself. So that's a really important thing that we can do with this test stand that you really can't do otherwise. So far, Chris, what do we think? Good?
Good.
Okay.
Some good news.
Off a little bit. Some good news.
I guess there's the injectors too, right?
Yeah, so we'll look at the injectors next.
Okay.
And that's more about the pattern and the release pressure. Make sure that those are good.
Okay. The steampunk apparatus here.
It's very sort of Rube Goldberg-y operation, but it's a great machine. And my favorite part, besides the sounds it makes, is the key.
Whoa! Holy smokes.
I always think about like the technician that did these, 8 hours a day every day would like hang this around their neck during lunch and come back to work and put it into their injection testing machine.
They just don't want anybody playing with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps the people from messing with it. Good old piece of equipment. There really is no modern replacement for this. So now we're ready to test these injectors, and we have them laid out here 1 through 6. And this, again, old analog equipment is great. This one, we use the same calibration fluid that we used in the injection machine.
Do you still have like a flip phone?
No, I actually have an iPhone.
Okay, all right.
I was an early iPhone adopter.
All right,
so
all right.
I don't have a rotary telephone in my house, if that's what you're asking.
I was going for the mystique of, you're full steampunk at home,
Not quite. We're getting some pressure here.
You put in
let it out.
Axe body spray in there for date night?
Yeah, this is the fancy perfume atomizer.
Nice.
So what we're looking for is that sound. Part of it says in the actual workshop manual that they should snarl, which I thought was kind of a weird way to say it, but now that you hear it, you can actually hear it kind of groan and moan.
Okay.
And the other thing that we're looking for is the pattern, which if we look at it, it's got a nice diffused pattern. It's not coming out as a stream. If we saw like a stream or droplets coming out in big clusters, that would be a problem. But we want a nice, even, quick pulse with that.
Great. Yeah, I hope my stream's that strong at 70. That's great. 2 days, Otto.
Yeah, we got a lot to do in a couple days. So Otto and I and the team, we're going to continue on this project.
Yeah, I should probably leave you to it, but I do have a bit of an issue. So
Okay.
when I flew here, I realized I didn't have my ID. I left it in another car. So I went through TSA and had the full like deep dive, like what you're doing to the SL, except to me, to get here. And then I couldn't rent a car to get around. So I know you have loaners.
I got just the loaner for you. It's perfect.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the hard work. I don't know how you're going to do it, but obviously this is the place to take your 300 SL. Usually the work doesn't get done in a week, so I'm getting a very special treatment here, but otherwise, I mean, what you're doing, I am so grateful. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I know it's not going to be cheap, but it's definitely going to be worth it. So thank you, and thank you, Otto.
And guess what? He's coming with us.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to go on the 300 SL tour.
Fantastic. All right.
Yep, we'll have a little buddy with us.
Well, where's the loaner collection?
Let's go take a look.
Bye, Otto.
Bye, buddy.
I really appreciate this, Nate, because this is not a bit. I really didn't have my ID and couldn't rent a car, so...
This is it. This is your transportation.
Okay, it's turning into a bit, so...
Well, I mean, it does run. It does drive.
Okay.
It has a seat heater because you have to light it on fire to get it to go.
So what year is this?
So this is 1885 Daimler motorcycle. So this is actually the world's first internal combustion powered motorcycle.
Because I thought the car was 1886.
Right. So actually the motorcycle predates the car by 1 year.
And that's like the replica of the car,
Yeah,
the motor
so
wagon.
this is a motor wagon 1886.
Okay.
It's got little training wheels on it for you.
Yeah, I need that. What's the top speed?
It's about 5 to 7 miles per hour, and it's a half a horsepower.
Well, I got to get to Costa Mesa to see grandparents, so I appreciate it.
So this isn't going to go fast enough on the 405?
I appreciate it, but there's something, maybe a bit more modern.
I think we got something a little bit more exotic than this.
I'll take it like a 500K. I mean, that if we want to go pre-war.
No AC, though.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Oh, yeah.
Is this a little bit more your style?
Oh, this is incredible.
79 450 SEL, the 116 series, the first S-Class officially. It was donated actually to us by a family. Their son passed away, and this was his favorite car he ever had. And so we got it for a whole $1, and it's part of our collection now.
It's beautiful. Is it 240,000 miles?
240,000 miles.
Holy smokes.
AC still works.
It's incredible.
It's in great shape.
Yeah, my grandpa had one of these. This is, okay, this worked out better. It was really bad at the airport at the time, but now...
Losing your license isn't so bad, I guess.
Nate, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm going to get back to work.
I'll see you soon, hopefully.
Yes, we'll see you in Utah.
This is so cool. The 116 Mercedes S-Class, they made this chassis from the early 70s until about 1980, and I've had many of them. The first one, a 76 450 SEL 6.9. It's one of my first YouTube videos doing a burnout until the end of time with that massive engine, the torque, unbelievable. This one a bit more tame, being the normal 450 SEL, still a V8 under the hood, but quite a bit less power. But this one, really impressive. It's been repainted. In California, things just stay so darn nice, it is ridiculous. Of course, the American bumpers were very, very big on these things. Boy, they even have the right tires on there. These are like impossible to get, very expensive tires. But yeah, inside, oh my gosh, so impressive. Wow. Look at these gauges. Look at the wood. Oh man, it even has the early automatic climate control. It looks like it belongs in a nuclear missile silo, and the controls for it, they're absolutely ridiculous. It's under the hood. They call it the evil servo. It's that right there. A bunch of vacuum lines controlling this valve and the flaps and everything else. And it is a wicked system that they abandoned very quickly. But this one, supposedly it's all working. And yeah, very, very tidy in here. It's just ridiculous. Silver blue metallic is such a pretty color as well. I had it on a diesel wagon that's all rusty and faded, and still in Euro-Asian Bob's junkyard to this day. I used it to swap the motor out into a nice rust-free red wagon. Oh man, this is so pretty. So the 6.9s, they can get very, very expensive, but these V8s, they're still pretty reasonable as far as like a daily driver collectible, and pretty robust. 240,000 miles on this thing. So smooth in the power delivery as well. Wow. So the big benefit to this one as well compared to the 6.9 is no hydraulic suspension, which is very smooth on those cars, but also can be very needy when things go wrong and kind of complicated. But I gotta say, I am so appreciative of the Mercedes Classic Center for diving in on my car immediately. And it was their idea to put it in the 300 SL Rally and give this crazy, crazy deadline. So hats off to them. They're doing an amazing job with the car. I am so grateful. And I am so grateful to you all watching and cheerleading me on my big moment of buying my ultimate dream car. I need to call out one of you in particular, and that is Gary, because he sent me this. He's had this toy for 50 years and was so inspired by me buying my dream car that he sent this to me. He played with it a bunch as a kid. He was really attached to it because it was different with the Gullwing doors, and he thought I should have it. So this is going in the car, Gary. Thank you so much, and it'll be in the car for as long as I own it. I'm so grateful for the outpouring of support for buying this car. And even Jay Leno gave me a call, which was very kind of him to cheerlead me. He humbly said, you know, I have a Gullwing myself, and I said, of course, I know you have a Gullwing. I've seen every single Gullwing video on the internet, and his is such an amazing car. And hopefully we can get the two together when the car is fully sorted out. So that should be fun. But all of you, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll pick up with the Gullwing, I guess, in Utah on the 300 SL Rally. In about 5 days, I'm going to be driving this car 1,000 miles after it's been sitting for a decade. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you so much for watching.